Hi, I'm Linda, a 32-year-old marketing executive trying to juggle work, family, and, wait for it, the world's most critical mother-in-law. Picture this. I'm in my kitchen, half-inflated balloons scattered everywhere, trying to organize Ethan's 6th birthday party when my phone buzzes. It's Liam, my husband. Hey, honey, he says cautiously. Don't freak out, but Mom's coming a day early for Ethan's birthday. I nearly dropped the phone. What? Liam, the house is a disaster. The party's tomorrow. I know, he sighs. She insisted. Said she wanted to help. Help? I mutter under my breath, like a tornado helps when it blows through town. But I take a deep breath and say, fine. Just keep her busy when she gets here, okay? Love you. After hanging up, I look around at the chaos. Superhero decorations everywhere. Eakin's special request. I've spent weeks planning this, determined to make everything perfect, even ordering the custom cake with his favorite character on it. But with Martha arriving early, I know things are about to get complicated. An hour later, the sound of Martha's car pulling into the driveway fills me with dread. I plaster on a fake smile as she breezes into the house, swinging her designer handbag like a trophy. Oh, Brielle, darling, she says, air kissing my cheeks. What interesting decorations. I bite my tongue. Thanks, Martha. Ethan picked the theme. She eyes a Batman cutout with distaste. Well, when Derek was young, we always had such elegant parties. I force a tight smile. I'm sure you did. I turn away before my eyes can fully roll back in my head. She follows me into the kitchen, clicking her tongue at the dishes in the sink. My goodness, Brielle, don't you ever clean? I've been a little busy with the party, I say through gritted teeth. Well, let's see what you've done so far, she insists, rummaging through the party favors. Oh dear, store-bought goodie bags. I always made homemade treats for Derek's friends. I force a laugh. Not all of us have your talents, Martha. She pats my arm condescendingly. Don't worry, dear. I'm sure the children won't mind too much. Just then, Eakin comes racing in, full of excitement. Grandma, you're here early. Martha's face lights up. There's my precious boy. Come give Grandma a hug. As they embrace, I can't help but feel a pang of jealousy. Why can she ever be that warm with me? Grandma, wanna see my cake? Ethan asks, eyes wide with excitement. I'm sure it's lovely, sweetie, Martha replies, throwing me a skeptical glance. Though, I do hope it's not too commercial. I clench my fists. It's from the best bakery in town, Martha. I'm sure it'll be great. She hums doubtfully. Well, we'll see tomorrow, won't we? As Martha leads Ethan away, I lean against the counter, exhausted. It's going to be a long 24 hours. Liam comes in, looking apologetic. Hey, how's it going? Oh, just peachy, I say, giving him a pointed look. Your mother's been here 10 minutes, and she's already planning to take over. He sighs. I'm sorry. You know how she is. She means well. The she I snap, then immediately regret it. Sorry. I'm just stressed. Liam wraps his arms around me. I know. But tomorrow will be great. Ethan will love it, and that's all that matters, right? I nod, trying to believe him. The next morning, I wake up at dawn, heart racing with excitement and anxiety. Today's the big day. Martha or no Martha, I'm determined to make this perfect. I sneak out to pick up the cake, a superhero masterpiece I can't wait to show Ethan. But when I return home, my bubble bursts. Martha is circling the cake like a vulture. Brielle, she says, her voice oozing fake sweetness, is this really the cake you chose? I take a deep breath. Yes, Martha, it's exactly what Ethan wanted. She purses her lips. Well, I suppose children don't have the most refined tastes. Before I can respond, the doorbell rings. Saved by the bell, literally, I put on my best smile and start welcoming guests. The next hour is a whirlwind of kids, presents, and me trying to keep everything under control while Liam keeps shooting worried glances between me and his mother. Then I hear Ethan shouting from the kitchen, Grandma, no. I rush in, my heart in my throat, and see the nightmare in front of me. The custom superhero cake smashed on the floor, and Martha standing there smugly, holding a store-bought cake. What happened? I gasp. Martha sniffs. That monstrosity wasn't good enough for my grandson. I got him a proper cake. Ethan bursts into tears. I wanted my superhero cake. I kneel beside him, trying to comfort him, while glaring at Martha. It's okay, sweetie, we can fix this. But the damage is done. The party is descending into chaos, kids whispering, parents staring, and me caught between comforting Ethan and dealing with Martha. I shoot Liam a look. Do something. He looks like a deer in headlights. Mom, maybe you should. Should what? Martha interrupts, her voice dripping with superiority. Save this disaster of a party? You're welcome, by the way. That's it. I've had enough. Everyone, I say, my voice trembling. I'm so sorry, but we're going to have to end the party early. The next few minutes were a blur of rushed apologies and handing out goodie bags as I ushered the guests out. Finally, it was just the four of us. Meet Liam, Ethan, and Martha. Martha dusted off her hands, oblivious. Well, she said, that was certainly eventful. I turned to her, the fury bubbling up inside me. Martha, I think you should leave. She blinked in surprise. Leave? But the party's over. Exactly. Thanks to you, I snapped. Liam, finally finding his voice, chimed in. Mom, I think Brielle's right. We need some family time. Martha huffed, gathering her things. Without another word, she marched out the door. As it clicked shut, I slumped against the wall, utterly drained. I'm sorry, babe, Liam said, wrapping his arm around me, but I shrugged him off. Not now, Liam. We need to salvage this for Ethan. We spent the rest of the evening trying to cheer up our little boy, playing games, opening presents, even managing to piece together some of the original cake. By bedtime, Ethan was smiling again, but I was still seething. As I tucked him in, I made a silent vow. Martha would never ruin another family event. I didn't know how, but I was going to put a stop to her toxic behavior once and for all. The days following Ethan's birthday felt like walking through a fog. I couldn't shake the anger, the humiliation, the sheer unfairness of it all. Liam tried to comfort me, but his reassurances felt hollow. How could he not see how much his mother was damaging our family? Desperate for an outlet, I called my best friend Zoe. After pouring out everything, she didn't hold back. Girl, you've got to stand up to that woman. This has been going on for years. I know, I sighed, but how? Liam always takes her side and the rest of his family is completely under her spell. Document everything, Zoe suggested. Every nasty comment, every backhanded compliment. Build your case. It was like a light bulb went off. I started keeping a file on my phone, jotting down every interaction with Martha, the texts criticizing my parenting, the voicemails laced with passive-aggressive jabs, the helpful suggestions that always left me feeling 2 inches tall. I even started seeing a therapist, Dr. Chen, to unpack the years of Martha's toxicity. You're not crazy, Brielle, Dr. Chen told me during one session. What you're experiencing is emotional abuse. Hearing it spoken out loud was both validating and terrifying. But Martha wasn't done with me yet. One afternoon, I overheard Liam on the phone with his cousin. No, Mom's just worried about Ethan, that's all. You know how Brielle can be sometimes. As soon as he hung up, I confronted him. What was that about? Liam looked like a kid caught stealing candy. Nothing, just family stuff. Family stuff? Like your mother telling everyone I'm an unfit mom. His silence was all the confirmation I needed. Liam, this has to stop. Don't you see what she's doing to us? He ran a hand through his hair. Look, maybe if you just apologize to her about the birthday thing. I couldn't believe my ears. Apologize? For what? For trying to give our son a nice birthday before she ruined it. Bri, please, he begged. It would make things easier for everyone. That was my breaking point. I realized that if things were going to change, I'd have to be the one to make it happen. The next day, I got a text from Martha. Dropping by this afternoon to check on my grandson. Hope you've managed to keep the house clean this time. As I stared at the message, a plan started to form. It was time to take action, not just for me, but for Ethan and the future of our family. I called Zoe. Hey, I need a favor, I said. Can you come over this afternoon and bring your video camera? Oh, sounds intriguing, she replied. What's the plan? I took a deep breath. We're going to expose Martha for who she really is. I'm done being her punching bag. As I hung up, a mix of nerves and determination surged through me. I glanced at a photo of Ethan on my desk, his bright smile reminding me why this fight was so important. Don't worry, buddy, I whispered. Mommy's going to fix this. Thanksgiving arrived, and my heart raced as we pulled up to Liam's parents' house. I clutched my bag, filled with evidence of Martha's years of manipulation. As we walked inside, Martha swooped down on us like a hawk. Oh, There's my darling Ethan. Brielle, dear, you look tired. Are you sleeping enough? She said, her tone dripping with false concern. I bit my tongue, reminding myself to stick to the plan. Finally, as everyone gathered in the living room, I knew it was time. Actually, Martha, I said, my voice surprisingly steady, I'd like to address something with the family. She waved a hand dismissively. Oh, Brielle, now's not the time for your little dramas. But this time, I wasn't backing down. I pulled out my phone and said, I think you all need to hear this. The room fell silent as I played recording after recording of Martha's harsh words. Texts criticizing my parenting flashed on the screen. Gasps echoed as the family heard their own experiences reflected in my evidence. This has been happening for years, I explained. And it's not just me. How many of you have quietly suffered under Martha's love? Slowly, hands began to rise. Cousins, aunts, even Martha's own sister nodded in recognition. Mom, is this true? Liam asked, his voice heavy. Have you really been treating Brielle, and all of us, like this? Martha's face flushed as she sputtered. I was only trying to help. You all need guidance. No, Mom, Liam interrupted, his tone firm. What we need is respect and kindness. You haven't been giving that to any of us. Martha looked around, desperate for an ally, but found none. You're all turning against me after everything I've done for this family. Liam's father finally spoke up. Martha, I think it's time you left. In the whirlwind that followed, Martha was escorted out, and suddenly everyone wanted to talk. Stories poured out. Years of frustration, hurt, and silent suffering. Liam focused on healing. He started therapy, working through years of enabling behavior, and we set clear boundaries with the family. We learned to communicate better, and most importantly, we protected Ethan from Martha's toxic influence. Ethan thrived. His laughter filled our home, and the tension that had long been an undercurrent in our lives finally lifted. A year later, we celebrated Ethan's 7th birthday. The party was everything I had hoped for, joyous, drama-free, filled with love and laughter. As I watched Ethan blow out his candles, surrounded by genuine smiles, a wave of pride washed over me. We had come so far. Liam wrapped his arm around my waist. You did it, babe. You saved our family. I leaned into him. We did it together. He kissed my forehead. I'm so sorry it took me so long to see the truth. But I'm here now, and I promise no one will ever treat you like that again. As I looked around at our happy home, I felt a peace I hadn't known in years. Now that you've heard my story, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Was I right to expose Martha's behavior, or should family issues stay private? How would you have handled the situation? Share your experiences in the comments.